Uh, Hello and welcome to our swimming program presentation. The purpose of this is to explain a little bit about your upcoming Gloji swimming program. We've got a short presentation where we're just going to run through some of the content you should expect to have access to whilst you're on the Gloji swim program, and hopefully answer some sort of FAQs as we go throughout the program, go throughout the presentation, and get you all up and running for the program starting soon. So I will share my screen and just introduce ourselves. So my name's Jack Bennett. I am the service lead for the Tier 2 weight management provision on the island and in Hampshire. And this is my colleague Mel.
Hello, everybody. Good to meet you all. So obviously my name's Melanie. I'm the Partnership and Engagement Officer at Gloji, and you will probably be seeing me on your very first session. I shall come and introduce you all and help you get started on the programme.
Perfect. So let's jump straight in. So the program is essentially, it's a two-pronged approach to weight loss, which incorporates 12 weeks of physical activity. So it's 12-week long program, and that'll be swimming at the centre at the times that you signed up for, and also a holistic digital weight loss program, which I will go into in a little bit more detail in just a moment, and you can find out a little bit more about that. So first up, at your sessions, what can you expect on the day? So over to you, Mel.
Okay, so for your very first session, we'll meet you in reception. So don't worry, we'll be there at One Leisure Medina. And there are two sessions running. So we've got a session starting at 1 o'clock. So those of you that signed up for the 1 o'clock, and we'll meet you in reception. We'll take you down to a room where we'll weigh you in. So this is a compulsory part of the program that we need to do the weigh-ins every week when you're swimming. So we'll get that over and done with because nobody likes being weighed. So we'll do that super quick for you. We'll explain and make sure that you're able to get into the system to log your weights. That will be explained in this video as well. And that'll be followed by 30 minutes of swimming with a qualified swim coach. So our swim coach, you have the same lady every week. She's absolutely lovely. And the aim of that there is not to teach you how to swim. Hopefully you all know how to swim a little bit. So as long as you can do at least one length, it's perfect. All fitness levels are welcome. So she will be there to guide you with your swimming and help you to perfect your strokes and improve your fitness. So it's a little bit of coaching as you go along, which would be really nice. For those of you that are signed up for the 2 o'clock session, you will head straight for the changing rooms, and then straight out to the pool. You'll do your swimming first, come back in, get changed, and then we'll weigh you afterwards. Okay, so that's how it will work, and I will be there for your whole program. So just to get you settled in and everything else. Next slide, Jack. Okay, so what you should bring. Swimwear would be really helpful. So bring across your swimwear. It's completely optional. If you want to wear swimming goggles, that's absolutely fine. Bring those along. Definitely say bring a bottle of water to keep you hydrated, because it's amazing how dehydrated you get when you're actually swimming. So make sure you've got a bottle of water with you. And with regards to your weigh-in, if you could try to wear clothes that are a similar weight each week, just so that you get a really good idea of what's happening with your weight and a bit of a true reflection, then that would be perfect. A towel, obviously, to dry yourself off. And that's about it. You don't really need anything else. So just bring yourselves and your swimwear.
Perfect. So in terms of the digital weight management program that you will also have access to, I'll go into a little bit more detail about that. So I'll explain a little bit about what it looks like and show you I'll show you my account. So it's the digital element of the 12-week program. It starts once you've accessed the link to create a password, which should be in your inbox prior to your first session. They haven't been sent yet. but you will have access to it in your inbox prior to the first session. The only thing I would say about that is that it's worth checking junk folders and spam folders, because often email will automatically think it's spam and chuck it straight into a junk folder. So if you haven't got it before your first session, do check your junk folders and your spam folders, because chances are that's where it'll be. And it looks like this image on the right. Hi, Mark. It's time to create your Gloji account. We're ready and waiting to help you start your journey to a healthier lifestyle. 12 weeks of supportive videos, tempting, tasty recipes, and loads of articles full of tips and tricks. So then you just click this big green button, and then that will take you to create your password, and then you have your Gloji account all ready to go. One thing to bear in mind is that we do recommend people log in and watch the first intro video on their Gloji digital account, because you'll need to watch that in order to access the wider program, and in order to be able to log your weight on your account, which is obviously something that we encourage everyone to do, is log your weights and keep up to date with that, and you can track it throughout. So I'll show you a little bit more about what that looks like. So you can log your weight each week. We suggest keeping up to date with the videos as they're released each week, and try to work with the content. What that looks like is, oh, if I stop, there we go. So here we are. This is the home page of your Gloji digital weight loss program. So this is my account. That's why it says hi Jack. This is the video that I'm currently on. There's some articles down here just to sort of get you going. They're kind of randomly generated, but the interesting stuff is if you look at my path, this is your program. So there's lots of little videos. I won't run through all of them, but there's loads of different content. It's quite a holistic program, so it's not going to be recommending that you sort of count calories or that you cut certain food groups out of your diet. It's much more about lifestyle. The idea is essentially that we are introducing new daily habits. This is one here called the Habit Hack, quite early on week 3. They're short little videos, usually between sort of 2 minutes and 5 or 6 minutes. And as you watch the videos, the next ones will unlock. One thing to be mindful of is when you complete part 1, do make sure that you click here to access part 2, and then you can watch the part 2 videos. And this one, so part 1 is all about hacking. The idea is that you sort of introduce new healthy habits into your sort of daily lifestyle. Once those habits have become embedded, and they're just sort of a matter of routine, then you can introduce another one, and then introduce another one. And if you can do that sort of 1 or 2 habits every week, and they don't need to be big, they can be really, really small. It could be going for a 10-minute walk on your lunch break, or it could be filling up your water bottle and making sure that you're drinking enough water every day. Whatever works for you. We're not particularly prescriptive about the habits, because what works for one person might not work for someone else, but they need to be really achievable. So when you're sort of deciding on what habit you're going to try this week, it's always worth asking the question, how confident are you that you can achieve this? And if you give yourself anything lower than a 9 out of 10, you probably need to scale it back and make it more easy, make it more achievable. And it sounds like sort of almost pointlessly easy, but if you can change 1 or 2 things per week, and you do that consistently, and every single week they add up, by the end of the program, you'll have changed sort of 12 to 24 new habits will have been introduced into your daily routine, and that does add up. That does accumulate to make a substantial difference. And that is the way in which this program is much more sustainable. So we're not trying to tell people to count calories or go on a crash diet, or what we're trying to avoid is moving away from that sort of diet mentality and that yo-yo dieting, and introduce a much more sustainable sort of healthy lifestyle, essentially. So loads of different content on here. Obviously, there's lots about diet, swaps and sizes, the joy of movement, a little bit of content about emotional eating and mindful eating. As I mentioned previously, the program is quite holistic, and we're aware that there's lots of different factors that impact on someone's dietary choices. That can be, lack of sleep. It could be particularly emotional time. So All of these things play in and have an impact and have a worth considering, worth reflecting on. There's one about sleep, um, mental well-being. So have a run through the program and do stick with it. Every 7 days after you've signed up, the next step will unlock. So on week 1, you'll have this intro video, which you would need to watch before the first session. And then you'll also have access to this step 1 stuff, kickstart your journey and start with why. And then 7 days later, you'll have access to step 2, diet matters, get set for success, and so on and so forth. Every 7 days, the next step will unlock and the next videos will unlock. And we do encourage you to stick with it. The reason they don't all unlock at the same time is because, you know, you can absorb all of that information in one day, but it's not going to make any difference unless you can consistently apply it over a period of weeks and months. So that's the reason why it's a sort of staggered process. This is the weight log. So you'll have this ready and open, hopefully, when you go to weigh yourself, or when you're weighed on the day. Obviously, all the weighing, as Mel mentioned, is completely confidential. We try and keep it as discreet as possible. And you can log your weights on here. You just click the log my weight button. You can do it in kilos or do it in stones and pounds, whichever your preference is, and input the data and click submit, and then it will pop up on this little chart. And then over here on the Explore tab, loads and loads of different articles. So there is the 5 pillars that sort of underpin all of the content on the Gloji program. That's sleep, mind or mental well-being, alcohol, movement, and nutrition. And if you want anything, you know, maybe you're having struggling sleeping, click on the sleep tab, and you'll have access to all of the articles that we have about sleep. And there's literally hundreds of articles about the different contents on here. So I do encourage you all. They're all written in a very sort of easily accessible manner, but they are all evidence-based as well. So that's worth bearing in mind. So that is a very quick whistle-stop tour of the Gloji program. You will also, should you wish, have access to Gloji Gym. You can create an account with our Gloji Gym, and this is essentially for home workouts. So you don't need to go to the gym to work out. There's lots of different videos on here. There are some live sessions if you want to do it, working that out along with your the instructor live. Thing to keep in mind is that although you can see the instructor and you can hear the instructor on the live sessions, they can't see or hear you. So it's completely one way. So there's not going to be, you know, your cameras aren't going to be on while you're working out in your living room, for example. But if you look in the vault, there's loads and loads of different videos in here, and you can sort of filter by intensity, low intensity, moderate, high. Let's click on some low ones, see what that brings up. Beginners yoga, strength and balance, and they're all sort of, you know, around 20 to 30-minute videos. And see if anything sort of takes your fancy, really. And you can also, once you start to see which instructors' styles you enjoy, you can filter by our instructors as well. So this is a really useful resource, and you can even save some of your favorite sessions, and they'll pop up here in these saved classes. And then lastly, you will have access to, oh, here we go. This PDF. So this is called the Eat with Gloji resource or PDF. This is a really useful resource. It's got 100 recipes in it, and they've all been nutritionally analyzed. So they do tell you, you know, calories and that sort of nutritional content. And it's all completely interactive. So if you wanted apple pie porridge for breakfast, just click on the link in the contents. It will take you straight to the appropriate page. You got your ingredients, you got your method, tips and tweaks. That's the nutritional content here. Why we love this recipe. So this is some benefits about this particular recipe: low in saturated fat, source of fiber, low fat, and very low in salt. So that might be a good option if you were sort of watching your blood pressure and trying to watch your salt intake. But in addition to the 100 recipes, there is also lots and lots of content about nutrition. So I really encourage people to give this a good read, because most of the common questions that people have when it comes to nutrition, chances are you'll find something relevant to that in here. So there's information about a balanced diet, what that looks like, the benefits of losing 5% of your body weight, which is a realistic target. That's a realistic goal over the course of 12 weeks. That's what we're sort of encouraging people to, if you want a target, not that you need one, but if you want one, a sensible and realistic, achievable goal from week 1 to week 12 would be a reduction of 5% of your body weight. And these are the benefits you could expect if you once you achieve that. So improved sleep, improved energy, lowers risk of type 2 diabetes, lowers risk of certain cancers, lower cholesterol, lower blood pressure, improved heart function, reduced pressure on joints. So really, really positive just from losing a relatively modest amount of weight over a period of sort of 3 months. Also stuff about how to tweak recipes, more about balanced diet. There's bits about portion sizes in here. There you go, understanding portions. Serving sizes, and there's stuff about how to interpret nutrition labels as well. So I'm not going to run through that anymore, but it's a really good, useful resource, and I would encourage everyone to take a good look at it. So moving on, over to you, Mel. I think this is the last page, isn't it?
It is, yeah. We've done a nice whistle top stop. Can't speak today. Tour for you, but it's some really good, useful information. But to go alongside that useful information, we've also got our Facebook group. So we're very well aware that life's a struggle and it's a busy time, and trying to keep the focus on your weight loss and on your change of lifestyle is difficult. This is where the Facebook group becomes really helpful. It's a really supportive environment where you can chat with other like-minded people. You can benefit from any advice and support that they give you as well as adding your own comments and everything else. Or if you're struggling, pop it in there. And it's a whole community of like-minded people that can support you on your journey. So join in. We'll have mentors on there as well who jump in every now and then and have a chat with you all as well. So yeah, do join the Facebook page and get that benefit as well, because it's really important to have that support network around you whilst you're going through the journey. So best of luck, everybody. I cannot wait to meet you all. Really excited to see you all. And I'm sure you're going to do really well with your weight loss journey. So yeah, really excited for you all.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you very much, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this introductory video, and well, Mel will see you all there in a few days' time.
See you soon.
Brilliant. Good stuff. All right. Thank you.